After the Hosilla fight, we head to the area exit, but do not leave yet. Instead, we collect all visible loot using the exit area's loot window by clicking each piece manually. We avoid using collect all at this point, because doing so causes us to leave the area permanently. There are still some unopened containers that do not appear in this window, whose loot does not appear in this window. By collecting the available loot, we can clear the map and more easily locate the containers we have missed. Once identified, we can return and loot them directly. Next, we level up Lan. We have recently acquired him in the aftermath of the Hosilla fight, which also led to the loss of Wendwag. We assign him a level in Sacred Huntmaster, the core class for the build I've planned for him. This choice also grants us an animal companion right away. Wu will take over the role of main tank, previously held by Wendwag's companion, for the remainder of the prologue. After adjusting our spellbooks and resting, we're ready to leave the area. Upon leaving the shield maze, we arrive in the lower levels of the Grey Garrison, where we meet Irabeth and reunite her with Anivia.
The Grey Garrison. Until recently it served as barracks for the Crusaders.
Irabeth and her soldiers are more than capable of handling the cultists encountered along the way. Thus, to minimize risk, we keep our party back and let Irabeth take the lead in combat. One fight where we can't rely on Irabeth takes place immediately after ascending one floor from where we met her. To prepare, we apply buffs before heading up. Once we do so, a cutscene triggers, preventing us from doing any more buffs or setting up our positioning. Cultists attack from both sides. One group engages Irabeth, the other targets our party. Archers may focus on the backline, as happened just now when one shot Camellia. This is the reason why I keep my main character so far back during the fight. Winter's Grasp proves to be an especially effective spell. In retrospect, I should have used this opportunity to target the archers with mine, even with the -4 to hit, due to them being prone. As I didn't do so, they ended up living, and after they caught up, they proceeded to snipe Sheila. With this fight done, we can go back to relying on Irabeth for the rest of the prologue. Before entering the Minago boss fight, we get her all the loot. Being over-encumbered doesn't matter, since the fight is scripted and we are meant to lose anyways. During the pre-fight dialogue, we select the Demon dialogue option. Choosing this, and failing the will save, results in Staunton giving us the Cloak of Unbending Will, a +3 to will saves, when we speak to him in the tavern. The fight ends once we fall unconscious. Not a difficult task, but there is a risk of failure. If our HP is too low and we take a lot of damage at once, we can die outright instead of falling unconscious. This could happen if we are brought to very low HP and then hit by a fireball. Luckily, Stolten knocking us out right away eliminates any such risk. we wake up in the Defender's Hearth, which I will often simply refer to as the tavern. Claribeth then proceeds to explain how, overwhelmed by the powerful spells the demoness cast, our character fell unconscious. I remember it slightly differently. We are now level 4 and able to take another level in Forester. For our next level 1 spell, we choose Fairy Fire. This will be useful against quasits in early ambushes, as well as against hidden babaus later on. Alternatively, we could have chosen Delay Poison to help counter the Dredge's stinking clouds. In our personal chest, we find the Sovereign Dragon, a passive belt item that grants a +1 morale bonus to knowledge and lore skill checks. Also, a cute flying dragon follows you around. This item is only available if you have the A Visitor from Distant Lands, a free DLC installed. If you're a backer, you'll find 2 additional items in the personal chest. Upon leaving our bedroom, Anivia gives us the A Stay of Execution quest. From this point onward, we have 3 days until the Defender's Hearth is attacked by cultists. I will refer to this event as the Terran Fight. The start of this fight sets a deadline for several important events. The Voljiv recruitment deadline, Greybor appearing at the Tower of Estroth. You need to kill the Necromancer before the Terran Fight for the Nabasu to appear. And finally, if we want to save the Knights of the Flaming Lance for the A Common Cause quest, we need to do so before the Terran Fight. To complete all these objectives within the 3-day window, we will have to rest as little as possible. Talking to Anivia again will reveal the Silken Thread Atelier and Topaz Solutions locations on the map. The atelier can be done before the market square, which is relevant if we're looking to maximize experience before Nino recruitment. In the basement, there is a hidden room that contains several items, including a Charisma +2 headband. We'll be equipping this on Sila, our highest Charisma character, before starting any dialogue that involves a Charisma check. Also in the basement is Voljiv. To recruit him, we will need to speak with Iribeth and then return to the basement. The deadline for recruiting him is at the start of the Terran Fight, but we plan to recruit him earlier in this run. Talking to the young cleric of Erastil will reveal Chili Creek on our map. Well, not on our current map as the location is in Act 2, but it will be marked for when we reach that part of the game. It also starts the associated quest. We are about to attempt several charisma-based skill checks. First, we equip the headband of Alluring Charisma on Sila. We also level her up, which lets us allocate an additional ability point to Charisma and a skill point to Persuasion. A Guidance provides a +1 bonus to the next skill check. We begin by speaking with Indara. First, a diplomacy check, difficulty class 19. 70% success chance. We can try again with a knowledge roll check, only a 45% success chance. And we miss this as well. Despite the failed checks, we still received the item and another item from the monk. The only loss is a bit of experience, nothing significant. Not worth reloading and repeating the whole Devon sequence. Next, we speak with Horcus Guerm. He offers another quest, again with a gold reward, just like in the prologue. We can attempt a diplomacy check, difficulty class 27, 30% success chance. And this time we succeed, doubling the gold reward from 1,000 to 2,000. Speaking with Gox reveals a new location, the Pixian wine cellar. He's also a merchant, offering a selection of potions, ingredients, foodstuff, and assorted miscellaneous items. From his stock we pick up a bag of holding, very useful, giving our low strength score of 7. We also buy the Dark Veil, a belt slot item with a 1 per day rechargeable ability that grants total concealment against ranged attacks for 1 minute. Ranged threats are a major concern for our build at this point, so this is a key pickup. Finally, we grab the Bottomless Muck. While it likely won't see much use on this character, despite its potential to counter the many fear effects present in Act 1, we plan to hand it off to a companion who will eventually take Drunken Master levels. With that in mind, buying it early comes with little downside if we have the money for it. We speak with Erebeth about freeing Voljiv and head towards the basement with the good news. On the way, we dock to Forn. There's no chance of passing the knowledge check at this point, but we want his quest right now for the early experience. The quest is Outcast. In Act 1, it involves speaking with Forn right now, then with Gailessa, and then returning to Forn. There's no combat involved, and it gives a solid amount of experience, hence why I want to do it early. We continue into the basement and recruit Voljiv. We toggle shared experience off during the recruitment, though forgetting to do so wouldn't be a big issue. He won't be part of the active party until Act 3 anyway. Freeing Voljiv starts the Stolen Moon quest, which we'll do next. Before leaving Defender's Heart, we activate Animal Focus Owl. We want as high stealth as possible to avoid ambushes. And this effect needs to be active beforehand, as it can't be toggled while on the world map. We make sure to assign our main character to the camouflage camp. At least in earlier versions of the game, if you didn't do this, the map stealth checks wouldn't properly use the right character. So it's a precaution worth taking. The quest itself is very straightforward, so I won't go into the story details. You can follow that in your own pleasure. On the way back to Defender's Heart, we get ambushed, despite our precautions. If no enemies are immediately visible, it usually means it's a quasi ambush, as they start out invisible. We could use Fairy Fire to reveal it, though it can be hard to pinpoint their location. But I decide to be greedy and conserve spells. This almost proves to be fatal. The Quasit immediately knocks out and poisons Voljiv, and then nearly kills our main character as we fail to bring it down on the first shot. It's not particularly strong, but it's fast, which makes kiting pretty much impossible. Definitely one of the more dangerous early ambushes, especially for a kiting-focused character. Voljiv nearly dies from the poison after the fight ends. But in the end we both survive, greed unpunished. As for why we haven't leveled Voljiv, the reason is pretty simple. We will bench him after we complete the Stolen Moon quest shortly, and we won't be using him until Act 3. there is a high probability that in between those times I will change my mind on how to build him. Back in Defender's Heart, we speak with Irabeth and then return to the world map. Where we promptly fail another stealth check. This time it's just cultists. They're weak, but due to a botting error on my part, my main character ends up taking a big hit. There are several perception checks inside the shop, so we activate Animal Focus Falcon and Bavoljiv with Guidance. Inside the shop we find Finian. It's an upgrade over our current weapon, so we equip it immediately. The Ghost Touch property will be especially useful in the Market Square, where we'll encounter several incorporeal shadows. Finian's ability to change into a different weapon types at will also come into play in a big way much later, but I'll save the details for a future episode. You'll have to keep watching the series to find out why. We toggle on Animal Focus Monkey for the athletics check, but we still fail it. A failing causes 50 minutes to pass and inflicts fatigue. But we can still proceed past the golem and with the quest. At the time, I mistakenly thought you had to succeed the check to complete the quest, which is why I reloaded. I'll be keeping track of reloads in the video description, so I do try to minimize. Once the Thieflings leave, we explore their hideout. There is a hidden door right here. I remembered there being a stash of gold, and so I reloaded the game after failing the perception check.
There's something over there. Easy. So exciting.
But my memory proved to be faulty. Had I known it only contained a note, I wouldn't have bothered. Not worth the reload. Back at Defender's Hearth, we complete the quest. This also unlocks Voljiv's shop. In the next video, we'll head to the Tower of Astral. There are several ways to make the fight there easier, so we'll go into much more detail compared to this episode.